Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, first of all, Happy New Year, and sorry about the lack of content for the past week. Unfortunately, I had a very bad cold. I completely lost my voice. It's still not back to normal, you can probably hear it. But I didn't want to leave you completely without content for the entire week, so I decided to make a short guide. Today we are going to talk about naval invasions. This is something that was requested a while ago in the comments. I use naval invasions in all of my guides, so I thought I would talk about them. Moreover, this is also a little preview of one of my upcoming guides. I reworked my guide for Turkey. It's going to be amazing, trust me. I will release it in the upcoming weeks. Now let's start with the very basics. How do you plan a naval invasion? Here I already planned it, so let's cancel it for now. And let's say we want to plan a naval invasion of Greece from Turkey. Now here I selected an army of 10. You should know that 10 is the limit for naval invasions unless you research this technology here. As you can see, this is a mid-game technology. You can get it around World War II, and it increases the naval invasion capacity by 20. Later on in the game you can get another one. You can get up to 100 naval invasion capacity. Actually, there is a better way to get bigger naval invasions early on, and that is if you have access to Marines. I wouldn't recommend researching Marines on purpose, but if you already have access to Marines, then you can select this Special Forces Doctrine, the very first one, and it will give you an extra 5 naval invasion capacity. I made use of this with Japan, it's very convenient. But let's say for now that you don't have any of the following researches, so you need to go for a normal naval invasion with a capacity of 10. Now, the naval invasion key is this one, the order is this one, and let's say that we select all of them. We select our starting harbor, and then we select the destination area. Let's say we want to take Athens, so we are going to select the area of Athens and around it, something like this. Now, what is the issue with this naval invasion? Well, the main issue is we don't have full control of where our divisions are going to go. And moreover, as you can see, the invasion is going to take a total of 70 days to prepare. So what I recommend doing instead is, you don't select all of your units for the naval invasion. Instead, you prepare several naval invasions happening at the same time in the same area. Let me show you how. So let's delete the order, and let's say that now we select only one unit, and we prepare a naval invasion from Izmir to Athens. Now, if you check here, you can see that it will only take 7 days to prepare this naval invasion. So if we keep doing it for all of our units in the area around Athens, okay, something like this, we selected half of the units we had, but in this case, all of these naval invasions are happening at the same time, which means it only takes 7 days for all of them to start. Instead of 70, we can now do it in 7 days. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this, however, because only one division is unlikely to be able to disembark. So the way I usually plan them is, if you can invade a large area, I would recommend planning the invasions with 2 divisions at a time. So in this case, we want to take Athens. We want to take the area around Athens. This is very important. Our main goal is to take a harbor, so that our other units can disembark. But the harbors are usually defended. The AI knows that we want to take the harbors, so they usually send some divisions to protect their ports. We still send some divisions to the harbor, but then we try to take the area right around it. So we send another 2 here. Another 2 here. Now, we could send another 2 here, but as you can see, in this way I need to go all the way around. I don't really like this, I'm not sure why it's doing this, but we don't like this, so I'm not going to plan it in this way. Instead, we can send them here. As you can see, to send them here, we can send them straight, so we're happier with that. And then we can send them to Argos, so that they all stay in the same area. So now we plan the naval invasion with 2 divisions at a time, which means we are going to take 14 days to plan this naval invasion. This is going to basically achieve the same results as the first one. All of our units are involved, but in 14 days instead of 70. I'm not exactly sure this is the way it's supposed to be, but it has been like this for a very long time, and it works perfectly. Okay, now the naval invasion is ready, but it says that we don't have enough naval supremacy in the region, and that is of course because to carry on a naval invasion you need the naval supremacy in the area. So you're going to select your navy and you're going to assign them to a naval invasion support command in the region or regions in which you need the naval superiority. In this case, this is very basic, because we only need naval superiority in this region. Our fleet is better than the Greek fleet, and so we immediately get the Green Sea. We are not going to have any issues with this naval invasion. So let's unpause the game and start our naval invasion by clicking here. Okay, as you can see, the naval invasion started. Now, in this specific case against Greece, I also start my other offensive, usually at the same time. And the main purpose is to keep these Greek divisions stuck in here, so that they cannot go back to the mainland. But that's another topic. So for now, let's see what happens with our naval invasion. As I told you, they are not usually protecting the areas around harbors. So in this case, we can easily start attacking Athens. Oh, in this particular case, they did not even defend Athens. They usually have some divisions in Athens. In this case, they were probably sending one of them, but they couldn't make it in time. So our naval invasion was absolutely successful, as we take the rest of Greece, while their units are mostly stuck fighting our units in here and in here. So they don't have the time to send them back to the mainland. As you can see here, it looks like a naval invasion. That's because they were trying to send some divisions back, but we were fast enough, and so we stopped them from doing it. Okay, that's enough for this naval invasion. As you can see, taking Greece as Turkey is fairly easy. Let's talk about a different naval invasion, a bit more tricky and a bit later on in the game. Now, this is the same run, but a bit later. Greece is now our puppet, and from Greece we are preparing a naval invasion of Yugoslavia. We already declared war on Yugoslavia. We are ready to start our naval invasion. And let me mention something very important here. Puppets are amazing for naval invasions, because you can start a naval invasion from your puppet even while your puppet is not at war with the country you're attacking. So in this case, for example, we are at war with Yugoslavia, but Greece is not at war with Yugoslavia. We did not call Greece into this war, which means that these Yugoslavian divisions here are completely wasted. They cannot really attack us, and we can still plan our naval invasion from here. In this case, the naval invasion is ready, but once again, I will delete the command and I will show you briefly what we are doing here. Now, here the situation is a bit different. Yugoslavia is stronger than Greece, they have better defenses, so going two at a time is very risky, especially because in this area they have a lot of harbors, so likely they are defending very well this coast. So in this case, our goal is to absolutely get one of them so that we can send over our additional divisions. And to do that, I now plan the naval invasion using 3 divisions instead of 2. So we start with the first 3 divisions and we aim to one harbor that we absolutely want to get. I would get Split in this case. Now, ideally you would like to surround Split, but in this case we have Zara, which is Italian, so we cannot plan a naval invasion in this area. Instead, we're going to go for a naval invasion of Dubrovnik as well, so that hopefully we can get at least one of these 2 harbors. Now, we still have some divisions left. In this case, I would plan a naval invasion with 3 of them and send them here in between the 2. So hopefully this area will not be defended and they will be able to disembark in here. And of course, by grouping them up in groups of 3, we have 1 which is not assigned to any command, and we use this one for something safe because it's 1 division alone. In this case, I like taking this little island here. We are basically sure to disembark with him and he will be able to push for Dubrovnik a bit later. Now, of course, since we are planning a naval invasion with groups of 3, it will take a bit longer. It takes 21 days instead of 14. So we're going to wait for the naval invasion to be ready. And here we go. So our naval invasion is ready, and we can assign our fleet, we already did it actually, to naval invasion support in the region. Again, Yugoslavia doesn't have the greatest navy, so this is a fairly easy one to get. Later on I will show you a more difficult one. So we can start our naval invasion. Let's see how it goes. Okay, now as you can see, in this case, Yugoslavia is defending both harbors. They have some divisions in Dubrovnik, some divisions in Split, but hopefully they are not defending the areas between them. And as you can see, they were not doing that. So we were able to disembark with at least some of our units. Now, since we really want to get a harbor as soon as possible, otherwise these units will be destroyed if attacked, also they cannot get supplies, we're going to try to push the two harbors with them from the land. Now keep in mind that while naval invasions get a huge penalty to attack because of the naval penalty, the divisions which already disembarked may have low supplies but do not suffer from the same penalties. So it's always better to attack from somewhere on land rather than only with naval invasions. Now, if you feel like you are still struggling, 85%, we really want to get this done as fast as possible, I suggest using the force attack command. This will make you take a bit more damage, but it will also increase your offense a lot. So let's see how it goes when we use the force attack command. As you can see, these numbers are improving very quickly, and it looks like we're going to be able to get the first harbor in Split. Now, in this case, we have some extra divisions ready to support our naval invasion, and we got the first harbor, which means we can send them over. Let's immediately send over our other divisions to help with the naval invasion. Meanwhile, if we can take a second harbor, that would be great. So we can start pushing here too. Okay, we got it too. And now in this area, in this particular case, they have two more harbors around here. And I would be really happy to take them so that we cut them off completely from the sea and from supplies. So we are sending our divisions, but I'm afraid that they may send reinforcements. So I'm going to use one division to keep them there. We don't have any chance of winning this fight, but at least these divisions cannot move to reinforce their friends around here. By keeping their reinforcement stuck, we should be able to get this harbor too. Okay, so here there is more potential reinforcements. I'm going to keep them stuck. And that's it. So we got the entire cost. Also, by the way, keep in mind, after you get a naval invasion, the front is a bit messed up. So I suggest you cancel it and make it again. And that's another successful naval invasion. We were able to take the entire coast of Yugoslavia. Of course, this war is far from over, but you should watch the main guide to see how it continues. Let's move on to the next naval invasion, which will be a tricky one. Same run, but a bit later in the game. By the way, little preview, we were able to take Yugoslavia, Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, all our puppets. But now we want to invade nationalist Spain. And the issue is Spain is a bit further away, so this is a more difficult naval invasion, and also Spain has a fleet. So our naval invasion is ready. We are ready to invade from Greece again. In this case, since they have a pretty wide coastline, I use the strategy with two divisions at a time. So I send two here, two here, two here, two here, and two here. And hopefully we'll be able to take at least one of these two harbors. The issue here is not really how they defend the coast. The issue is that if we assign the navy to the three regions we need, we only get the Green Sea in one of them, while in two of them we do not have it yet. We need 50% naval supremacy, but we only have 43%. So what do we do here? Now, if you can intercept the enemy fleet and destroy it, well, that's one way to proceed, of course. So what you can do is you can send your fleet on patrol. In this case, maybe we can even split the fleet around a little bit, and then we can assign the patrol regions to each one. Now, our fleet, which we split, by the way, by clicking here, which splits the fleet in a balanced way, is able to cover the three regions with patrols, hopefully engaging in a fight with the enemy fleet. In this case, we know our fleet is better, but as long as they have their full fleet, we cannot get the naval superiority. But there is another little trick that I will show you here to get the naval superiority for this invasion. And that is the agency. By unlocking the agency and researching the naval department, we can start getting naval intel. If we check the naval invasion, you can see that our naval supremacy is, let's say here, 36%, and it's scaled to 50% because of low enemy intel. You can see that our intel efficiency is particularly low, only 10%. Okay, we got the naval department and we got our first spy. So we're going to assign this spy right away to Spain. And let's see what happens with the intel. First of all, right away, just by assigning the spy, it went from 10% to 12.5%. And as you can see, over time, our intel efficiency is increasing, which means our naval supremacy will also be increasing. Now, when you think you have enough, it may already be enough, I suggest you stop keeping this, the fleet split, because actually they perform better in terms of naval invasion support when they are together. And we can try to see if we can get the naval invasion superiority, and as you can see, we can actually get it right now. And we can get it mostly thanks to the fact that we used our spy. As you can see now, the naval supremacy is scaled to 55, it was 50% because of low enemy intel, which means we gained 5% naval supremacy, which was exactly what we needed. Now, of course, when you need more naval supremacy, you need to wait a bit longer. In this case, we just sent our spy, so it didn't build a huge network. But if we wait a bit longer, of course, the network will increase and you will be able to get the naval superiority even in more difficult scenarios and situations. But let's start just as a showcase our naval invasion in this case too, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so as expected, Spain is defending quite well the two harbors. But as expected, they are not defending the areas between the harbors. Now look at this, because this is quite interesting. We get red numbers, which means we are not getting these pushes done. But now our forces disembarked. In this case, we can do something like this. We can attack with one of them, and we can send the other one around for an encirclement. We're going to do the same thing down here. And with these ones, we are going to try to get Alicante. And look at it, immediately the number became green. And very, very quickly we are getting the naval invasion done. See if we get the other one too. Okay, perfect. So we got both harbors very, very easily. So again, we showcased another naval invasion, the advantage of assigning the divisions 2 by 2, and how to get the naval superiority even when you don't initially have it, because the fleets are more balanced. I have 2 more naval invasions to showcase in this guide, so let's move on to the next one. Now, this is again the same run a bit later, and we are becoming more and more powerful. In this case, after taking half of Europe, this is a bit of a spoiler, but basically we have Turkey, we have Iraq, we have Iran, Greece, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, Romania, Hungary, Spain, Portugal, Vichy France, and we are ready to play a decisive role in World War II. With a naval invasion of the UK. This is a classical naval invasion. This pretty much looks like Operation Sea Lion in the plans of Hitler, except he could never get it done. Hopefully we can. So, what's the idea here? The idea is that we have a very, very good fleet, because we took it from Vichy France, Spain, Portugal, and all of the other countries we defeated. So we will probably not have an issue getting the naval superiority in the channel. But the UK sometimes defends. So how do we plan this naval invasion? So for the UK, what I like doing is I start from Dunkirk and I send 3 divisions to Dover. I send another 3 to the other harbor here to the left. I send another 3 of them up here with the idea that these ones should be able to disembark and Dover will be almost encircled. And then the last one I send here. And ideally the divisions here and here should be able to disembark, and even if they are defending Dover, they will find themselves completely encircled. Overall, it takes only 21 days to plan this naval invasion. So let's see how it goes. Okay, here we go. The naval invasion is ready. We just need the naval superiority. But as I said, with this very good fleet, and thanks to the fact that the Royal Navy is usually not protecting England for some reason, we should be able to get Green Sea immediately. That's the case. So we can start our naval invasion. Of course, we also need to declare war on the UK. And let's go. Our naval invasion started without any problems. Let's see if the UK is defending. It doesn't look like they are defending, which is a bit sad for my showcase. They are calling a lot of people into this war, but yeah, they were not defending at all. Okay, that's fine. Even when they are defending, I can guarantee you that this is very, very easy. Now, one thing about the UK, the Royal Navy is somewhere around here, and it will, if not destroy, damage heavily our fleet if they intercept it. So what I suggest doing in this case is, after you get the main invasion done, send all of your troops over to cross the channel. And while we do that, we are happier to have our navy protecting them. But as soon as they finish disembarking, that's it. I would recommend stopping the naval invasion support and preserving your fleet. Send it back to a safer harbor so that even if the Royal Navy comes, they will not intercept or destroy your fleet. And that's it. Of course, we are going to easily take the UK now, but again, that's a spoiler for the main guide for Turkey. You will see what we do from here in that guide. Now, last showcase, it's a very, very tricky naval invasion. Let's see. Now, this is part of my guide for Japan. It's fairly early game. We were able to puppet Siam, and now we want to plan a very tricky naval invasion of the Netherlands. As you can see, we have quite a long way to go to get this naval invasion done. How do we get the naval superiority in all of these regions all the way to the Netherlands? Of course, our fleet doesn't have enough range for that. If we select the fleet which is now in Siam and we try to give the naval invasion support command, as we get here, we already don't have the range anymore to get the naval superiority. So this is clearly not going to work. So what are we going to do? In this case, we got docking rights from Italy and from Germany. And thanks to the docking rights and to a very careful positioning of our fleet, we are able to achieve the naval superiority. By the way, before you ask, well, why didn't you directly naval invade from Germany or from Italy? While you can do that from your puppets, you cannot do it from other countries, even if they give you military access, which by the way they would not give us. Even with docking rights and military access, you cannot start a naval invasion from a neutral country to another country. So you can only start a naval invasion from another country if you are in the same faction or if that country is your puppet. Okay, so what did we do here to get the naval superiority across all of these regions? So we assigned our fleet to several harbors along the way. For example, our cruisers are here, our light cruisers are in North Africa, our destroyers are in Somalia, our submarines are ready in Bangkok, and our heavier ships are in northern Germany. Now, by splitting the fleet like this, if we select all of them and we start the naval invasion support, in all of the regions in which we need it, we need it here, 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 here. I sometimes forget about this and that's very bad, but you need it in the agency as well. Of course, we need it here, 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 here. And that's it. So we got green sea everywhere. Now, very important, this is not going to last, because as soon as we start the naval invasion, our boats automatically go back to the starting harbor, because, well, their job as a naval invasion support is to escort our divisions to the naval invasion. So what you need to do in this case is you start the war against the Netherlands, and then without unpausing the game, you press here to start the naval invasion. Then you unpause the game, and if we did everything correctly, the naval invasion should start. And as you can see, the naval invasion started. Now, if we look at the naval superiority, you can already see how we lost it in several regions, but it does not matter because you only need it to start the naval invasion. Once the naval invasion started, once your troops are on their way, then they cannot be stopped unless they are intercepted by the enemy fleet. Here it will take actually quite a while for them to get to the Netherlands, so I'm not going to show you what happens when we get there. You can watch my guide for Japan if you're curious. But yeah, that's about it for naval invasions. Hopefully this guide will be useful. Naval invasions are not very intuitive in this game, and as you can see, there are some little tricks that we can use to get the naval superiority even in the most difficult scenarios. So that's all for today's video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about naval invasions, let me know if you know of other strategies or even better strategies to successfully carry on a naval invasion. And do not miss the releases for the upcoming weeks, because I'm preparing some very interesting videos for you. I'm working on all of the updated division templates, designs for planes, designs for tanks, a step-by-step guide for the Roman Empire, and then of course the updated guide for Turkey will make Turkey insanely powerful. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure to follow the channel. If you subscribe, also activate notifications so you do not miss any of that. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.